Part 1. The Psychology of Loneliness. Loneliness does not come from being alone. It comes from feeling emotionally unseen. Most people think loneliness simply means being physically alone. Psychology suggests something deeper. A person can sit in a crowded room and still feel profoundly isolated, because loneliness is not only the absence of people, it is the absence of emotional connection. Neuroscientists have discovered that the human brain responds to social isolation in surprisingly powerful ways. Research has shown that loneliness activates many of the same distress systems involved in physical pain. In simple terms, the brain experiences emotional disconnection as a threat. This is not weakness, it is biology. For most of human history, survival depended on belonging to a group. Isolation once meant danger. And some psychologists believe the brain still carries those ancient survival mechanisms today. This is why prolonged loneliness can affect both emotional and physical health, anxiety, mental exhaustion, sleep problems, overthinking, and emotional numbness. The nervous system begins entering a state of psychological hypervigilance. The mind becomes more sensitive to rejection, distance, and social threat. Psychologist John Cacioppo, one of the world's leading researchers on loneliness, argued that loneliness changes the way people perceive the world. The lonely mind becomes more alert to possible emotional pain. In many cases, loneliness does not only create sadness, it creates self-protection. People slowly begin withdrawing emotionally. Trust becomes harder. Vulnerability begins feeling dangerous. And over time, loneliness can become psychologically addictive, not because isolation feels good, but because the mind begins adapting to emotional distance. Carl Jung once wrote, "Loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you." That idea explains something important. Human beings do not only need social contact, they need emotional understanding. This is why superficial connection often fails to remove loneliness. A person may speak to others all day, yet still feel emotionally invisible, because the deepest form of loneliness is not physical isolation. It is feeling psychologically unseen, and eventually, many lonely people begin asking themselves dangerous questions. Would anyone truly notice my absence? Does anyone actually understand me? Am I emotionally replaceable? At that point, loneliness stops becoming a temporary emotion. It begins affecting identity itself. And perhaps the deepest psychological truth about loneliness is this: the human mind can survive isolation for a period of time, but the nervous system was never designed to emotionally live there forever. In the next video, we will discuss why some people feel alone around others.